Hi, my name is Catherine Wendt with Syscon, and thanks for taking a moment of your time. Today I wanted to talk about servers and hosting and Microsoft 365 and cover part two. So in part one, we talked about the number one reason to replace aging servers and infrastructure. Control. Control, that's it in a word. And in that scenario, there are many things to consider, and the first and foremost one is to be sure that you are connected with and working with a qualified managed service partner who is very good at networking, and that would be someone like Syscon. So if you're going to take over that and you're going to replace that equipment, that is the primary thing you need. If you are not interested in replacing that hardware, you don't want the capital expense, you don't want to buy the equipment, the implementation, take care of maintenance, upgrades, backups, security, remote access, things like that, and you would like to have some alternatives, that is part two, and that's what I'm ready to talk with you about. So I wanted to start with your data. First of all, you have files, and they often, in the offices, they're referred to as our file shares. So you've shared drive letters, they may have security on them, they have a variety of different types of documents, Word, Excel, PDF, things like that. Many of those things live on your server. So that is an opportunity to move those file shares. Another thing you have is local data on the computers, and then of course your email. So with the Microsoft 365 product, it actually covers all three of those, allowing you to take some of these things off the server. So it starts with email. You can use Microsoft 365 for your email. There are a couple different premium levels in there, and yes, spend the money and buy the backups. Item number two, OneDrive. Awesome. It's kind of like My Documents. So on your local PCs, workstations, laptops, you have My Documents folders. Most likely they are not backed up onto the server. There are exceptions, but most likely not. And people are careful to save everything up to the server. When you are using Microsoft 365 in the manner I'm describing today, those are actually going to be backed up with your email. So that would be a win for you. The third part of that under the Microsoft 365 is SharePoint. This takes some planning. This takes some implementation, but what it allows you to do is take shared files off those servers, put them in SharePoint, making them available anywhere you have an internet connection, whether or not they are logging into the server. Cuts down on your server access licenses, makes them available from anywhere with an internet connection, and those would be backed up as well. So if you take care of that part, the next part, when you've got a server and you're deciding whether to replace it, is going to be software that needs to run on a server. And there is definitely more than one business application that needs that. For our clients, it's often Sage 100 Contractor, Sage Paperless. Perhaps you have QuickBooks on-prem, where you're not doing it in the QuickBooks Cloud, you have an installation. Those things need to run on a server with a server operating system. So that's where the Azure hosting comes in. So with Azure hosting, you actually would work with a company like us. They're referred to as a CSP. That's a Microsoft CSP cloud solution provider. And basically under that scenario, we would implement the server for you, move those software licenses and the data to that server, make sure that it's backed up, take care of locking it down, and now your staff is going to log in from a shortcut to get to that server. So these are some of the things that you can do to eliminate replacing an on-premise server, whether you have a server box, a host with virtual servers, or you've got one for each server. If that equipment's aging and you need to replace it, these are two ways that you can move the data that you typically have on a server. There are a couple of other things that need planning for routing your printing, Active Directory, happy to help you with those things. So do your homework before you pick someone to work with. We would suggest getting referrals, and there are a number of questions you should ask anyone who's going to be helping you with this. The questions are actually on our website in the article that this video is attached to and in our May 2021 newsletter. These are the questions you should be looking at, asking, and we recommend you get some referrals before you choose someone. So whether you're going to keep the local server or move some things to the cloud, this takes a little bit of planning. Aging equipment needs to be addressed, and you need to be working with a qualified IT company in either scenario, but they would be providing different kinds of services. Any other questions? Let us know. Go ahead and read the additional details in the articles. Thanks for your time, and have a great rest of your week.